I'm just here to show a few guitars. I've just finished this repairing this guitar. This is an Oscar Schmidt Stella. It's actually labelled as a Galiano, but as I understand, the Galiano and Stella were coming out of the same Oscar Schmidt workshops. Just to clear up a few confusions, this is a pre-Second World War guitar, 1920s, 1930s. It's all solid birch, nice V-shaped neck, slotted headstock. It's got no logo on here, but we know what it is by the label and everything else tells us. It's got this nice transfer, this decalemania transfer across here and around the sound hole, bound sound hole. And it's a nice little guitar. Literally just this morning finished stringing this up, put a new saddle and bridge on. I'll talk about what I did. But just to compare it against a 1950s Stella, very, very similar, but a different guitar. All birch, trapeze tailpiece. Very similar in size, but in terms of value, quite a lot different. These were very, very common, made by the thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions maybe, from the 1930s through, I think, to about the 1970s. There was a few, the last ones made in Japan, I believe, but all coming out of Chicago. Same sort of construction, ladder braced, parlour sized body, shortish scale, 24-inch. Plain headstock with a Stella on it. The pre-war Stella logo was quite a bit different. The difference is these were made by Oscar Schmidt. Always a budget guitar. They did some nice versions of these with spruce tops, but all simply ladder braced. But it does sound more. It sounds nicer, warmer, rings more. There's a few buzzers on this. I haven't stoned the frets or anything. Very percussive. And here's a similar one. This is sort of almost a copy, but this was Chinese made from a few years ago. I think they only made 100 of these. Very similar style, you can see. Similar body style. Slotted headstock. It's not got the sharp shaved off one. It's got a sort of later style headstock, and this one's also got those sort of familiar bar style markers. So it's a bit of a hybrid. But make no mistake, that's a brand new modern one. They only made 100 of these back in, I'm not sure when they did these. Might have, I can't remember. Around about the 2000 mark or whatever. Early 20th, 21st century. Laminated body. This is what most people are after, who are after a proper Stella guitar, and some of the old-time bluesmen did play them, in particular people like Barbecue Bob and Hootie Ledbetter, but they played the 12-string versions. So this is a very desirable guitar. Came to me, needed a neck set. I've not, the body's shown a little bit of movement, but other than repair a couple of, cleat a couple of cracks and loose seams and a loose brace, I've not fiddled about with the body. So that's had the neck out, and I've refretted it because this is just stained maple, but it was in a bit of a state, and the frets had worn and been filed a couple of times, so there's no height in them. So it's been refretted, new bone nut, new bone saddle in there. You can see the whole thing has tilted over a wee bit. But with these ladder brace guitars, I'd have to open up the whole thing and re-brace the top. I don't think it really needed to do that. I might need to just bring that saddle height up a little bit, or stone the frets to get the action bang on. But yeah, the other thing which dates, you can tell, it's got these sort of reverse tuners. The the button is below the actual capstan that the strings are wound on. More modern guitars have got it the other way around. So if you're looking for a Stella, these are perfectly good knockabout things, but you should be able to get these. I mean, if you're lucky, you can still pick them up in the States cheap, but it costs getting them over here, and you never really know what state they're going to be in. So you could spend a couple of £100 on one of these, and you'd probably get a much nicer modern parlour guitar for the same money. But they're a cool little thing, and I quite like them. I mean, I've had loads and loads and loads of these. Take the necks out, fiddle about with them, so I know what I'm doing to get them right. This is something else altogether. You know, you can. Well, I don't know if you can put a 0 on the end of that figure, but you're talking past the £1,000 to get one of these in nice state. This has had quite a lot of work done to it. It came to me. I think this was picked up at a good price, and as I say, it's a Galiano. It's the other house brand name of Oscar Schmidt Stella. So perhaps, if for those in the know, they might not know quite what it is, but it is a Stella guitar by Oscar Schmidt. So these are much more desirable, and they do sound better. It actually sounds like a proper guitar rather than a box with some strings stretched across, which is cool for doing that. But play the other one by comparison. I'm very scathing about recording onto the computer because I'm just using the internal mics. I don't know if you can even tell the difference on this microphone. It doesn't ring anything like as much as that little pre-war one. And this is my reproduction one. Probably a bit in between them actually in terms of the tone. It's a plywood body. You can really punch it to get it to respond a bit. It doesn't ring like the Galiano, but it's absolutely fine. So there you go. Everything from pre-war Oscar Schmidt through your 1950s through to 70s Harmony Stella and the modern repro Stella. There are a few people making very nice repro Stellas, but expect to pay several £1,000s for one of those. Okay, bye for now. If you've got any questions, catch me on www.chickenbonejohn.com for any questions you might have. There's an email on there. And you can see a few of these other guitars that I've done up. Okay, bye for now.